that's me at 5 years old in my very first tutu. And just like any young dancer, I started with ballet, tap, and jazz. I was given the opportunity to dance with a very prestigious and rigorous dance troupe in high school. It was very emotionally, physically draining, but there was a lot of good things that came from that. I learned how to accept criticism graciously. I learned how to persevere and how to push myself to the limit. I also developed a very deep passion of dance that is still with me today. So I went to college, and I knew I wanted to dance in college. However, I did not pursue dance as my career. I wanted to make sure that I could get a real job, and so I studied math education, but I did dance. I auditioned for the university's Ballroom Dance Company, and I was accepted. So in addition to going to school full-time, working, I also managed to fit in 15 hours of dance training a week. During my college journey, I met the man who is now my husband, and this is a picture of us at our wedding. He's in the Air Force, as you can see. That's how I knew he was a keeper, because he learned to dance for me. So his Air Force career landed us in teeny tiny town, Texas, and we were only supposed to be there for about a year and a half, so I decided to wait to start my education career. But it so happened that I met the right person, and they asked me to start dance classes on base. So I got a contract, and the best part about this is I could decide what I wanted to teach, when I wanted to teach, how much I wanted to charge, what ages I wanted to offer the classes to. So this was my first taste of entrepreneurship, and I loved it. And I decided that this is what I wanted to do, not just as a dance instructor, but also as a performer and a choreographer. So our next assignment is in California, and I hit the ground running. I got a contract in the works, and additionally I was auditioning for different performance opportunities. I was given the opportunity to choreograph and perform with several different dance companies and theater companies in the area. All the while I was pioneering this dance program at the base. My first go at it, my first year, I had 24 kids sign up the first year. This is a picture of our first recital that I put on there. I know, they're darling. By my third year, I had tripled my numbers. And so, just as any sensible entrepreneur, I was determined to keep the program. We got our next assignment in Colorado Springs, and I was intending to keep it going. And soon after we moved here, I got a phone call, and I was informed that my contract was written incorrectly and they needed to stop the dance classes effective immediately. And I asked for a waiver, and it was denied. So they put a halt to the classes so they could rewrite the contract bid. I got it back 6 months later. But at that point, I just decided I need to cut my losses, turn my back to the program, and focus on the opportunities in front of me, which are here in Colorado Springs. It was very rough. I mean, I put 3 years of my time and dedication, and just like that, it was all gone. But I kept moving forward, and I started teaching at a studio up north as an independent instructor. Started with 1 lesson a week, grew to 2. Eventually, I had 15 to 20 lessons a week, and at that point, I decided I wanted to have my own space. So I did the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, and I put my name on a commercial lease. So the studio was close to my home, which I loved. The only snag was it was an office building and it needed a lot of work. So here is the before and after. Yes, it was a disaster. It took 2 15-yard dump trucks to get everything cleaned out. But eventually my husband and we converted that to a dance studio. Thank you. So my husband is also a Krav Maga instructor, and so we were sharing the space, and we realized very quickly that we needed to do something so that we could both grow our businesses. So we leased the other unit. This is a triplex building. At the very end, we created a mat area. We additionally built another dance studio in the back so I could launch the kids' classes, because at this point I was primarily teaching ballroom. And so, again, flash forward 6 months later, and we decided we needed to do something again, so we actually bought the building. Thank you. So we knocked out one of the walls so that we could expand the original dance floor, and we expanded it so it was twice the size. And this is, you can see here. So it's twice as big. We rebuilt the floor. My husband and I we're almost hitting our 2-year business anniversary in March. We've built 4 dance floors in those 2 years. A construction worker by day, dance instructor by night. Don't call me for construction work. I don't want to do it. I'm very grateful for my journey. If there's anything I've learned is that being a dancer and an artist is a real job. I have a job I love. I don't work a day. I absolutely enjoy what I do, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that have been brought to me in this area. Thank you guys for listening to my story.